Hello, my name is Braynoski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching the Inner Gamer On.
Yes. And today we're going to be talking about first details of Project A coming out, which is Riot's new shooter. HenryG, esports commentator, tattooed guy. He talks all about his thoughts on the new game, and we talk about our commentary on his thoughts about this game. So stay tuned.
And as always, if you like this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bang that bell, because we know you want to.
Bang it! Next story we have is from Riot's secret project, Project A, that they've been working on, that they announced last year. There's details that have come out on it from a Counter-Strike professional player who has said that Riot Games' new shooter called Project A could be something special. This player goes by the name of HenryG. He is a professional Counter-Strike Global Offensive commentator and a professional player. And he says that he shared some of his impressions of this game on Twitter, according to Polygon here. And one of the first things that he noted in Twitter was that the game feels most similar to CSGO if he had to give a quick comparison. So as opposed to this being like Overwatch or whatever, which people have making comparisons to, he said largely this is very much a CSGO kind of game. He also said that he played round-based games with 5-on-5 combat wrapped in a tactical shooter package. He said that the rounds he played required 12 rounds for one team to win the game, had attackers and defenders that switched halfway through the game, and the map had 2 bomb sites, most similar to Counter-Strike's Diffuse mode. He also went on to say that most of there's been some comparisons that people have made to Overwatch and Apex Legends with the abilities that they saw in early footage of this game. He said most of the abilities require players to purchase them at the start of each round, along with purchasing weapons. So again, CSGO familiarity here with the purchasing of these things. And it sounds like the abilities will function similar to the utility items like smoke and flashbang grenades that exist in CSGO. And they're just a little bit more out there. So more like Overwatch-y like components, but you have to purchase them. So it's not like they're tied to a certain character. You can also have a great time playing without having to rely too much on them to assist you in the game. So you can still basically focus on your skills as a shooter in this game without having to rely on these skills, but they give you a little bit of an extra like flair, I guess, to the game if you are using these abilities. And he said that rather than games like Overwatch, where few characters can offer one-shot kills and abilities decide how almost every encounter plays out, he said that most of the rifles in the game will take down an opponent with one headshot.
Oh, wow.
And then he also mentions that each class has access to the same weapons, which should mean that you can choose who you want to play a little bit more freely than other games of the style. And he also went on to say that the map design is also very good, and it feels like the map design philosophy that has made Counter-Strike iconic for so many years. So this is from HenryG. I don't know much about him, but I mean he's verified. He plays CSGO a lot. He's a pretty big in the space, and he has said he says it's really good and enjoys it. So it's kind of interesting to hear this perspective on this game that came out of nowhere, that League of Legends Riot Games is developing, that may be a hot contender in the shooter space.
Hey man, we need something to switch things up, and I don't play a lot of Riot games, but if it's good, I'll play it.
Yeah,
it sounds not like I like the hero shooter where you have to take, or like even Battlefield, you take your class and you have to work with your teammates in order to come out on top. Like, I think it just makes sense. And for it to not be like, like you said, an ultimate.
Yeah.
It's nice that you can just have your tools you need for certain situations, and you can be that multi-class if you need to, something like that.
Yeah.
Find your play style. Like, it's very open. I like that.
It's interesting. I mean, because there hasn't been many competitors like really good, strong competitors to CSGO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Rainbow Six Siege that kind of is a tactical shooter aspect, but it's very much way more hyper tactical. And then it's also team based.
Right.
And then you have Call of Duty, but that's way more faster paced, more arcadey in its aspect and stuff like that. Whereas CSGO, I mean, it's fast, but the tactical is a big component of that. And this seems like it's trying to push into that, but then pull some inspiration from these other games that we've come to enjoy.
Yeah.
Which is basically what a MOBA did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took aspects of you know, a lot of different types of games and brought it into this. And then Overwatch was like, well, let's take that hero shooter component or hero aspect of MOBAs and make a shooter out of it. So these guys are kind of doing a similar thing where let's take CSGO and then bits of Overwatch and bits of, you know, all these different these shooter games and merge something together that will be probably for more of a competitive audience, but hopefully it's accessible enough for us to jump into it as well and enjoy it.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm excited. I'm down to check it out, man.
I am too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be, I mean, it's Riot. Like, I suck at League of Legends, but
Yeah, same here.
maybe a shooter will catch my fancy. And I like that it's independent of like character classes. Like, you buy the things that you want to get.
Right.
I just hope it doesn't mean that if you're a much stronger, more skilled player, that you are going to get a big advantage early game.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, because you're playing 12 rounds to win this game. Like, if somebody's like super good and just way faster on the trigger than you are, like, they could get a lot more dollars earlier to buy better abilities and better things. So I'm hoping that doesn't have a huge balance inequality that would cause, basically, if you suck, you can't play this game.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe your abilities that you have, quote unquote abilities, kind of even that out a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
I hope so.